Make some noise for Angelia Trinidad.
Yeah. Thank you. Woo! Let me get. Hello, everyone. I'm short, so here we go. I think that's the shortest it goes. So we're just gonna do that. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much. The sun just came out, I think. The sun said, "Good morning, Creative Mornings, San Diego." Thank you so much for being here. My girlfriend just smiling ear to ear in the front. Next to my dad, this handsome man right here. So today I just wanted to take a moment to just kind of ground ourselves, because I know that this week has been pretty hectic for most people. I think this world moves extremely fast. So if you feel comfortable, if you feel safe, go ahead and close your eyes. I'm gonna use this to ground myself too, because I can feel the shake in my voice. And my hand too, woo, okay. So let's just take a second to ground ourselves. So close your eyes, take a deep breath. Go ahead and relax your jaw, your shoulders, your hands, to really feel into your body and accept what it's trying to teach you, accept what it's trying to tell you. You hear the sound of a bus. You hear the sound of someone's phone, because that just happens. That's okay. It's probably my mom. Just kidding, Mom, I love you. And whatever has been making you feel anxious or not present, just let it melt away for this moment. We have this gift to be present with ourselves, with each other. What a gift to be here in person. Think of all the little miracles that had to happen for you to be here. And take a moment to just be grateful for all of the good things that are happening in your life right now. We'll take a few deep breaths together, in through your nose and out through your mouth. Another one, in through your nose and out through your mouth. Let yourself be heard. In through your nose, last one, and out through your mouth. Yeah, whew. Awesome, thank you so much for doing that. You can open your eyes. So, how do y'all feel? I feel better. The shakes are gone for me, I hope, but they might come back, that's okay. So, my name is Angelia Trinidad. My pronouns are she, they. I am the CEO and founder of Passion Planner, and if you don't know, you can get a free one back there. My team back there, handing them out. Essentially, a Passion Planner is a paper life coach that you can use to define your goals, break them down to small steps, and put those steps into your agenda so you don't wait for someday to chase your dreams, that you start working on them today, because someday might never come. And this year, we celebrate our 10th year, which is incredible. To date, we've sold, does anyone want to guess how many planners we sold? We actually just updated the stat yesterday. You can't guess Capri. Anyone want to guess? 4 million. 10 million. Oh man. Lower. Dang, y'all really shoot for the stars, yeah? 5. So we've actually sold 2.5 million planners all around the world. That's a lot of lives change. That's a lot of people thinking consciously about what they want out of their lives. And how did we get there? Well, for me, it really has been this process of acceptance. And not just any type of acceptance, but self-acceptance. I'm talking to you with a piece of paper because I have ADHD and I'm dyslexic, which pieces of paper are not my friend very much, but because of that, I was like, oh, we don't have slides because we move venues. And I was like, we're just gonna show up. We're just gonna be ourselves. And I think that's what being creative means. It means expressing yourself honestly, expressing yourself without the need to tell people why, just showing up. So here I am with my paper. I just expressed why, but that's okay. It happens. Doesn't have to be perfect just as a start. Here we go. So for me, self-acceptance has been the tool that has really propelled my life forward. And it has been a lifelong practice. Oftentimes people think of acceptance as a way to become a victim to your situation, but I think acceptance really is being able to clearly see what the truth is so that you can move forward from a stable place, from a solid place. And when you take acceptance and you pair that with action, that's how you change your life. And I wanted to share with you also that I think we all have 3 partners when we have partners with ourselves. And those 3 partners are your mind, your body, and your spirit. And in this talk, I really want to talk about these 3 partnerships that we have, because oftentimes we ignore them. How many of you have ignored one of those? And how much does it suck from 1 to 10? 100, yeah. I love those people, 1 billion. So to me, I've come up with 3 practices to really touch base with those things, and I'm going to share those with you today. Before I get to that, I really wanted to share some of my story. So I was born here in beautiful San Diego, California. Woo! To these 2 beautiful people right here. Mom, Dad, you want to stand up? Take up the sunshine. It's very cute. My parents, yes. You can tell who's the extrovert. You can tell who's the introvert. I have a little from both. You know. And I was born into a very conservative Christian religion to a pair of amazing, loving, providing, thrifting, caring parents right here at the Naval Hospital here in San Diego. The Navy families, woo! We got some. And at the age of 4, I was wearing sandos. If you're Filipino, you know what that is. If you're not, then you probably don't, but it's essentially a white tank top that you wear around, and that's it, and some shorts. And I was running around all the time with a bowl cut, so you couldn't really tell if I was a boy or a girl. I was like one of those kids that you're like, I'm not sure. But all of my siblings had that haircut, so it is what it is. And for the first time, my mom would dress me up for church. And back in the day, out in the 90s, you wore these dresses that were like frilly and very, very itchy. And I hated them. And I just wanted to wear my sandos and my shorts. And I remember telling my mom, I don't want to do it. I don't want to wear it. No. And she'd be like, you have to. And I'm like, ugh. And right when I get home, just change into my sando and my shorts. And it was the first time that I advocated for my body. And for me, I'm wearing overalls and boots today. Like a lot of times people think about speaking and they're like, okay, I need to get into business attire. And sometimes I do that, but it's only when I feel like it. And I think when we start to give ourselves permission to show up how we want to be, we also give other people the permission to show up how they want to be. And that dog wants to be heard. Yeah! And by 8, I was playing pickup basketball with boys. I was this little short Filipino girl. And I would come back to my mom, and my mom would be like, Anak, no, your breast so fragile. Your breast cancer, And I'd be like, Mom, no. And she'd be like, please, don't be in the sun. You're going to get dark. See, she's already cringing. And I always knew my mom was looking out for me. She always wanted the best for me. But I rebelled. I was the kid that was running outside all the time. And she'd be like, why are you running through the streets without shoes? I don't know how many of you all ran through the streets without shoes. Everyone else is like, ew. But that was when I realized I needed to continue to advocate for what my spirit wanted and not what my parents wanted. So I was like a little rebel. But I also really, really wanted to please them because I'm an Asian person. So, yup. And okay, at 12, my life changed because I was in middle school and I looked at this girl and I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? And I had butterflies for the first time ever. And I was like, in that moment, I first felt attraction to someone. I also felt like I wanted to throw up because I had been conditioned for so long to not love that part of myself, which was so challenging. And all I could think about was, oh no, this might break up my whole family, which was really, really scary. And I was 12. And at 13, I had a girl liked me and we chatted on AIM. Anyone else chatted on AIM? Had random away messages, that little sound of the door going, and you're like, who came on? You know, we'll go back to nostalgia. And she gave me this ultimatum, because we had been talking for like maybe 2 weeks. I didn't realize that was funny, but yeah, that's actually really funny. You know, queer women know what they want. Like, and you know, anyways. So she was like, are we gonna try this or not? Like, are we gonna actually give this relationship a chance? And I said, what? Like, in my head, I was like, what? Like, I thought I was just going through the motions and we were just going to live out this fantastical secret life. And when faced with that decision, I had to ask myself, okay, am I gonna choose my old family or my new family? And that's wild. I was 13, you know? And I was thinking so far ahead. I spiraled into oblivion. And essentially I was like, I can't do this. I can't choose I can't choose you over my family. And I sent that message and she kept her word. She stopped talking to me. She took space and it literally broke my heart. And I didn't tell anyone because I didn't know who to tell. And it was the first time I had ever betrayed my spirit, like deeply. My spirit was mad, but more confused. It had shown me love for the first time, and I was like, nah, which sucks. But at 15, I decided, so 2 years after that, I decided I wouldn't deny my spirit. I knew if I was gonna feel love again, if butterflies were gonna come again, I would say, okay, I'm gonna try. And my hair is wild right now. Then it happened. I felt butterflies again. I fell in love for the first time. And I fell, and she caught me, and I caught her back. And it was this beautiful journey of accepting one another and loving each other and ignoring what everyone else was telling us. And it was so beautiful. But in the back of my mind, I always was scared that my parents were gonna find out and it was gonna shatter us. And it did. At 16, my life changed. My double life of being a church girl that went to church twice a week, every week, unless I couldn't leave my bed, and my life being a queer girl, they just train wrecked into each other. I went to a basketball game, and when I was coming home, my dad had texted me, what did you text me, Dad? He said, come straight home after your game, we need to talk. Who else hates that text? We need to talk. Who here? You know, we need to stop doing that. We need to just not do that. But yeah, I was thinking about all the things that could have gone wrong. And then essentially I came home and my parents had found out about my girlfriend. And they took away my phone and they grounded me and they told me you could only go to church, school, and home, and that's it. And it crushed me. The people that I yearned my whole life for acceptance, the people I wanted to get good grades for, the people that I wanted to just be proud of me, didn't make me feel accepted. They made me feel extremely rejected. And in that time, I took really long showers because water helped me feel something. My whole life started to become gray. And I was wondering if people would miss me if I was gone, and I was like, this is probably bad. And it was a really dark time. At 17, I decided to move away for college. I went to UCLA. Go Bruins. I see a Bruin back there, I know you. And I went to study pre-med. because I still wanted to make my parents proud. And my first love and I broke up. The pressure of us being apart in 2 different cities was too much for a world, while we were living in a world that didn't really want us together. But my spirit told me I needed to let go, and I needed to move on and accept it. And in that same year, I finally listened to my heart, and I knew I could, 2 years ago, 2 years after that, I decided that I didn't want to become a doctor. And I had to ask myself again, what did I really want to do? And I was like, dang, I want to be an art major. And I was like, dang it, another decision my parents are literally gonna hate. So I did it, and I didn't tell them. Sorry, Mom and Dad, I just lied. But I knew I needed to listen. And as I started making art, the color in my life started to come back. I started to feel excited. I started to make things. And I realized my life's purpose was to make things, to just create. And that making things was just my calling. I just like to make things. And I didn't even care about what happened to them afterwards. I just like making things. Who else likes to just make things for fun? Yeah, this is my crowd. So at 21, I graduated, and I felt like I was on top of the world. I had graduated with an art major. My parents were proud of me. They went to my graduation. My grandma was there. I love you, Grandma, up there. But I moved home to San Diego, and my post-grad anxiety, uncertainty started to bubble, and I started to become extremely depressed. And I only had $6 to my name, so I really needed a job. And I realized that I just wanted to travel and write. I just wanted to travel and write, but my mom was like, you need a job. And I was like, okay. But I wanted to start a business because I wanted to maybe work the business for 3 months during the summers and then travel the rest of the year, because my aunt had owned a flower shop and I had worked for her for 7 years. And she taught me the power of making money quickly. And I said, I want to do that. So I started a baking business, making French macarons, and I also shot photography for weddings. And a week later, I realized I fucking hated baking. And macarons suck, because there's like humidity, there's like, don't bake macarons. But I pushed myself for 8 months because I didn't want to be a quitter. My coaches always told me, quitters never win, winners never quit. And I was like, yeah. But I became extremely, extremely depressed. And I developed double vision. My hair started falling out. I had cold sweats. I couldn't sleep. And one morning, my mom was going to work. I ran downstairs because I heard the garage door open, and I asked my mom, Mom, do you remember this, Mom? You remember this. I said, Mom. And she's like, And I was like, Mom, please, please, please tell me what to do. I don't know what to do with my life. I don't know what to do. And this woman loves telling her kids what to do. So I was just ready for her to come up with a plan, do this, do this, do this. And I don't know what came over her that morning, but she said, Anak, I can't tell you what to do, but you're gonna figure it out. And I said, dang, that's not what I wanted to hear. I wanted a plan. It was beautiful though. But I needed a plan. But she got into her car, she drove to work, and I was like, okay, well, fuck. And I went upstairs, and the week later, we went to a family vacation to Hawaii. And during that week, I didn't have to bake anymore. And my spirit was like, yes, we don't have to bake, we're so happy. We can see the world. And in that moment, I realized I needed to quit. I needed to stop baking. I needed to stop doing something that I hated. So I decided to quit right after I came home. I told my 2 cousins that I was doing the business with, hey, kuyas. I said, I can't do this anymore. They said, okay. And I said, so much easier than I thought it would be, They didn't care. They had full-time jobs. I was the only one baking. So I went upstairs to my room, and I took out a piece of paper, and I wrote down every single thing I wanted out of my life. And one of the things that I really wanted to do was help people. And I thought about what really helped me in my life, and it was a planner. It was paper. Wow. Papyrus. It was paper, and I wrote down every single thing I wanted to do, and I really wanted to help people, and I thought about what helped me when I was feeling so chaotic and so disorganized, and it was my planner. But I was dissatisfied with the planners on the market. They were all super practical. They told you, okay, this is the to-do list, you cross it off, but they didn't ask you what you really wanted out of your life. And I thought, if we're using a planner to get somewhere, shouldn't we define where we're going? So I was like, okay, we're gonna start off with this map thing that I made. And that was actually the first passion roadmap. It was this map that I was doing to recalibrate my life. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna launch this planner company. And I decided to design it on Photoshop, which I know now you should have done it in InDesign. There you go, Adobe, your plug. Just kidding, thank you, sponsors. And Word, I did it on, Word, not even with autosave. But I did it on Word, and I Googled notebook manufacturer, and I found a manufacturer, and I sent them the files, and a month later, I had the first passion planner in my hands. And it was incredible. I was so stoked. Usually I show a slide of me with my planner, I'm stoked. And I'm like, I had sliced the back of the envelope because I was so excited. And then I launched it on Kickstarter. And in 30 days, from my parents' garage, raised $48,000. And I was like, whoa, I can travel, I can write. And I did that. I blogged for a year, and then Chelsea, who's back there, who's been there with me since the beginning. Thank you, Chelsea. Chelsea, you are MVP. She gave me feedback saying, oh, people want a smaller version. And I said, okay, let's make it. So we made a smaller version of Passion Planner. We launched it again. And we're like, please share this on any form of social media. And if you do, you get the free PDF. The free PDF has always been available, but we're like, maybe people want to trade energy. I don't know. So they did, and a lot of people shared it. And it was shared 550,000 times on Facebook. It was featured on Good Morning America, one of the, just organically, and millions of people saw it. And my friends from Thailand that I had met while studying abroad were like, oh, I saw your Kickstarter video. I was like, whoa, the power of the internet. And Chelsea actually was like, Angel, the email is closed. It's closed. I was like, what? And she goes, it's gone. It's gone. I was like, why? And she was like, oh, they shut us down. They thought that we were spamming people or scamming them. And I was like, okay. So now our email went from passionplanner@gmail.com to thepassionplanner@gmail.com because we need a new email. And then Chelsea was like, okay. I was like, okay, Chelsea. I was going camping, and Chelsea was like, okay, I need help with the website. I was like, okay, you're gonna go in the back end of a Squarespace, and you're gonna go and change the email that it feeds and just put the downloadable PDF on the website so that people don't have to email us anymore. And she did it. And then I went off into the mountains to go camping, no signal. And I come back, and she is like, we made $100,000. And I said, really? I was like, no, that's an error. The decimal is probably off. 10,000 sounds realistic. And then the next day we made another 100,000. And then the next day we made another 100,000. And then by the end of the Kickstarter, we had made $650,000. From 23,000 people all around the world. And that was incredible. I was like, oh man, my life's different. But it wasn't different. We were still operating out of my parents' garage. It was just me, Chelsea, and Josh. And then I was like, okay, well, I gotta accept the situation. And then on the website, we did 1.3 million. So by the time I was 24, I had just turned 24, I became a millionaire. And I was like, whoa, this is wild. And my parents were like, is this money real? My mom asked me, is this real? And I said, I think so. I wasn't sure either. I was like, I don't know how, like, it was just wild. I was like this kid that was given this gift of people seeing this product, it changing people's lives, and now I have to figure out how the fuck to handle all of this. Because the only background in business I have is working at my aunt's flower shop. So for me, it's been now 10 years, and we've done great things as a community. Like I said, we've sold 2.5 million planners. We've given away 600,000, and I've met some of you that we've given to your organization, so thank you for being here. We've donated $650,000 to nonprofits. We've empowered our team to hopefully live your best lives. Thank you, team, who's here. You're welcome, thank you, I love you. And who here has used a passion planner to reach one of their goals? Oh my gosh, that's the most people I've ever seen in a group. That makes me really happy. So why do I share this story? Well, as you could probably tell, acceptance has been the thing that has been recalibrating my internal compass, or just not even recalibrating it, just listening to it. And the next part of my talk is I really want to do a few exercises with you to recalibrate with your own body, mind, and spirit. So now it's your turn. Thank you so much for listening to my story. So the first thing is I would like for us to talk to our bodies. So go ahead and sit, relax with your eyes closed. I call this practice the body embrace. Let me check time. Close your eyes. What is your body trying to tell you? Where do you feel tension? And as you feel that tension, I want you to send it loving kindness. I don't want you to judge it. I don't want you to try to change it. I just want you to see it. Often we want to try to change things and create tension and dissatisfaction. But similar to how in arguments we just want to be seen, to feel safe in the moment, our body too wants that attention and love. Be the partner to your body that holds space for it. As true healing isn't the ability to fix all parts of you, but to love all parts of you, even the parts that others may consider shameful or bad. It's okay if you need to move or cry or hug yourself. The body is a place of emotion it feels. Now from that place, become an ideal partner to your body. Tell your body in your head, hey, I'm sorry for not listening to you. I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna listen. Often our bodies are judged by the outside. We should be thinner, we should be lighter skinned, we should be taller. Let's cut the noise, let's cut that should, and let's give our bodies the appreciation it deserves. Our bodies work 24/7 to keep us alive. There are more cells in your body than stars in the universe, and all of them are trying hard to keep you here, breathing. Tell them thank you. Tell them I love you. Tell them I got you, and I will continue to honor and protect you. So take a couple breaths here. All right, so you can open your eyes now. And the next thing is we're gonna move to our mind. Our mind is a little tricky because our mind is like the alarm system. Its goal is to protect us, to tell us when things are wrong, but often its rules are outdated. Become aware of what your mind is telling you. Is it a judgment? Is it an idea? The mind is a being without a way to materialize ideas. So this is why I think paper is so important. When you vent on paper, it's so powerful. So if you have a notebook, if you have your phone, you can take it out, and we're gonna take a minute to do this thing called a brain vomit. So we're gonna take a minute to just write out anything without any judgment of what your mind's trying to tell you. Because when your mind sees that you respect it, when your mind sees that, okay, I'm being heard, I'm being recognized, then it starts to get quieter. So please take 30 seconds here. when you write down things, they go from swirling around in your head and onto a piece of paper, or into your phone, or through talking. It needs to be externalized to be recognized. And you can do this for longer than 30 seconds, but for the sake of time, that's what we're gonna keep it at. And the last thing is spirit. So your spirit talks to you through your intuition. It is our inner knowing and our inner compass. How do we turn up the volume of our spirit? Well, we listen to the pull of life. Who are you when you're at ease? Who are you before anyone told you what to do? Who are you when you don't have to be motivated? So in your phone, on your notebook, I want you to write down anything you've been pulled to before, whether that be hobbies, people, places, curiosities, anything at all. So take 30 seconds here. It can be signing up for a class, texting someone, visiting a place that made you feel alive, just trying to integrate those desires. So the last thing that I want to end with is, how do we do this within community? How do we promote self-acceptance? Because we can't do it for other people. There's this practice, what I call community compassion, and it's built by being a front row friend. It's being that friend that sits in the front row, that's smiling and nodding at you. How many of you have done something to your appearance? You've cut your hair, you've dyed your eyebrows, you've gotten a tattoo, and you feel so nervous to show the first person because you're afraid of what they're gonna react. And how many of you have seen that reaction and been like, ah, snap, that wasn't the reaction that I wanted? Well, you get to be the opportunity to be that front row friend that celebrates the person, that sees the person, and that appreciates the person. So I hope this talk is something that you take into your life, and I hope that inspires you to accept yourself a little bit more today. Thank you.